What's up, world? It's your boy LA, aka Showtime. Welcome you back to my page, Bird Gang Mafia. Now, this game was not what we expected at all. I would have much rather taken the loss. Like I said, I don't want no moral victories. This game was atrocious. To come out the way we played, again, injuries piling up, and it's not like those serious bone-breaking injuries or torn ligaments and stuff like that. We get guys going out with soft tissue injuries. Like Deshaun Jackson, I love him to death, but the hamstrings is we put too much stock and rely on too many players. So when it's like when they get hurt or they go out for whatever reason, it's just like we have no backup plan for them and they just falter out. Now, Zach Ertz played better. He had a hell of a game. I'll give him that. Um, and one of the things that I noticed was he is actually threatened by the success or potential success of Dallas Goedert. The moment Dallas Goedert went out with his ankle injury in the first, you kind of saw a reemergence of Zach Ertz. He started getting open, running his routes more precision. It's like he just seemed more in tune with the game because he didn't have any other player looking over his shoulder. Now, like I said, that can be a problem. Now, I don't know where we go from here because we can't have we rely too much on that 12 personnel, so our wide receivers don't get a chance to step up and make the plays that they need to make. Now, also with these wide receivers, I don't know what the front office is doing with these guys or the decisions that they need to make. But once again, we ran into the same play style that we ran into last year where wide receivers cannot get open on the outside, and we have to rely too much on those tight ends and running backs to make plays for us. We can't keep doing that. Teams can easily game plan against us because they know we don't have a shot to take them out vertically or anything like that. They just can't beat man coverage. And again, no Whiteside. He's got to go. He has got to go. Get him off of this team, cut him, trade him, do whatever you need to do, put him on IR or something. But he's taking up a roster spot. He can't be out there just not contributing for us again. And Jalen Hurts, I saw the one play. He got that one first down that was early in the game. Then he came back again, and everybody wanted it. And what did he do? He fumbled the football. Why? Because he's not ready to take over that role. Understand, Carson Wentz is the quarterback. Yes, he's not playing well, but some of these issues are not solely on his own. That first interception that he threw, that was not on him. That ball was deflected at the line. Now, what happened was on that play, that was what they call a mesh concept or a rub route. So you've got two receivers that are going to cross paths. Now, what happens when you have two receivers? You're going to have two defenders. If that ball is tipped for any reason, there is a defender in play to make a play on the ball. That's what happened in that instance. So that's not on Carson Wentz. Now, that second interception where you line Zach Ertz out wide, looking at Zach Ertz type of route running, he does his best route running on in-breaking routes. That play was pretty much like a fade route. That's not his route. He can't run that because if you look at that play closely, when he's going up the sideline, if he breaks in front of the defender, he has a clear route on a slant. But what does he do? He drifts farther, make it into a fade route, and then everybody's blaming Carson because they're saying, oh, he should have put that ball back shoulder. No, if Zach Ertz crosses the face of that defender, then that is a routine catch for him. But because he altered the route, it made it a horrible throw to the perception of our eyes. Oh, excuse me. Now, some of these other wide receivers, Hightower, I think he's going to be good, but he just shows that he's a little too timid in some points where he doesn't come back to the ball or make plays on the ball like he should. And if Doug Peterson doesn't throw another wide receiver screen behind the line of scrimmage, I will not be upset. He calls these plays at the worst timing. Third and longs, second and long, and it just makes it work. It makes it way too hard for the offense to try to get some rhythm. When they make the completion, but the play is just so backwards because they know that that's what we're going to do because our offense has become so predictable. Now, another thing that has to happen, Now let me take a step back. Jim Schwartz called a much better game plan today. He still has his bumps and bruises, and he's got his issues. That play on 3rd and 15 where he lined up in that stupid sticks defense, and what happened? The Bengals called a running back screen. Giovanni Bernard got the ball. Nothing but offensive linemen to clear his way. Why? Because our back seven is all at the first down marker. That's why I do not like that concept. The only time I ever want to see sticks defense is if it's a Hail Mary play at the end of a quarter or the end of a game. That's the only time we should ever take that stance on the field, because it is pointless. You have players running at full speed against your secondary, your linebackers, and they're stationary, waiting for the ball to come to them. You know football, you have to hit the man, be where that man is before he gets there. No, what do? We just sit back and let them bring the ball to us, and we give up first downs. And Nathan Garrett, that man has got to go. There is no reason for him to be on our starting defense. Time and time again, he looks lost in coverage. Every time the ball is thrown his way, he's always a second or step too late to recognize what's going on with the play. He's got his back turned when the ball is coming. Zone concepts. When you know somebody just ran past you, you have to expand that zone. But no, he's just standing flat-footed, waiting to see what the quarterback's going to do. And he knows. You have to know what your teammates are doing on defense. So if you're just taking out your position and just knowing what you're supposed to do, that's selfish football, because you're only worried about yourself. You know you have teammates. Like, if we're playing cover 3, cover 4, whatever the case is, that means the DB is moving. That means somebody is running beside you, running behind you, and you're just not looking to see what's going on. He has no concept of what's going on the football field. And that's very sad to me, because this man was a converted safety. He was a safety in college. How is it that you can't understand coverage skills? He has got to go. We drafted Davion Taylor in the 3rd round. Give him a shot. At this point, what do we have to lose? But Nathan Garrett cannot be on the field outside of a special teams play. Now, like I said, all in all, the game was better, but it feels like a loss, because we haven't been able to beat this team since 2000. 20 years have been going on, and we cannot beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So next week, we go to San Francisco. Now, San Francisco is banged up, but I really don't have any confidence in this team. We got by today. We didn't lose, but we got through it off the skin of our teeth. Now, some good news is going to happen. Next week, Will Parks is officially eligible to come off of this 3-week injured reserve. So that means he could possibly take Jalen Mills' spot. Now, I like Jalen Mills as a football player, but I don't like him as a safety, because sometimes he also looks too lost, and he's probably been too far removed to make that big of a position change to go from corner to safety with no meaningful offseason. So there were no OTAs to get his feet wet, and he's trying to revert back to a position that he played in college 5 or 6 years ago. So to thrust him in that position was unfair, for one, and then just Jim Schwartz wanted him to take that Malcolm Jenkins role. And Malcolm Jenkins was a good player for us, but Jalen Mills needed to be his own player and not try to live up to expectations or the shadows of another player before him, because, again, expectations leads to the biggest downfall of any kind of athlete. Once you have expectations, you don't live up to those expectations, you're considered a failure or a bust. But on to San Francisco, like I said, this game wasn't nothing to be proud of. And again, Miles Sanders so close to getting that 100 yards, and they just went away from him. But what this game does tell me, we need Alshon back. We need to see what Quez Watkins can do. And we need a bigger running back. We need somebody to get those tough yards, because Boston Scott and Corey Clement won't do it for us. And you can see that Miles Sanders, he does get nicked up. There was one play where he kind of limped off the field after, he ran into a pile. But some things got to change. Something's got to happen in that front office on Tuesday. If you got to give Jim Schwartz his walking papers, but somebody needs to be made an example out of. Somebody has to be benched because we can't go through things like this. Like Matt Pryor getting that false start at the end of the game, taking us out of field goal range. Like that was a boneheaded play. You know the snap count. Why are you jumping off sides? And there's no crowd noise to affect that. So what is really going on? It's like these guys are just out there on the field just doing who knows what with no consequences. They really don't have any consequences for poor play. And it's very upsetting for myself and other fans alike. But like I said, we're on to the 49ers. Hopefully this is a good week. You know, something changes, some way, somehow, something changes. You know, hopefully the 49ers stay a little bit more banged up, make it easier for us. We get some guys healthy and, you know, try to mount some sort of confidence and resemble something close to what a win will look like, because we got some tough sledding ahead. After the 49ers, I think we've got the Saints, the Ravens, and Pittsburgh, I believe. So it doesn't get easier for us, and we kind of need all the good fortune we can get. So again, you know, thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and we can keep this Mafia train going. And I'm going to see y'all next time.